Hey guys, welcome to another written down breakdown of a video. I've done one on fear of fear, and I thought I would do this for this fear as well because I think that we need to cover this a little bit more. So, and people ask for this topic quite a bit too. So, before I go on, please subscribe to the channel and let us know what you think, and please let us know any other topics you want us to cover. So. Fear of harming yourself, or even, by the way, fear of harming other people as well. A lot of the things that we're going to talk about overlap with like both fears, right? So this is a very common one where people think that they're going to take their own life and they're going to harm themselves, and obviously they find it very distressing and they find it very difficult to deal with, just like any other OCD theme as well. It feels real and it feels very overwhelming to deal with, but one of the things that get missed about this particular fear is the other underlying fears that are hidden, right? When you peel the layers and when you really start speaking about it, you start to see that there's a different face to this fear than meets the eye at first, like initially, right? So let's look at what some of those fears behind harming yourself or taking your own life are. Number one is straightforwardly, obviously, fear of death, right? That you will die. And it can be a fear of, oh, what comes after that? You know, you don't want to face that. So, but at the same time, we have to also think about, but if it was a fear of death, why are you not afraid of dying from a car accident, right? Why is it specifically the fear that you're going to take your own life? And that's because of this thing, because in this case you feel that there's a big sense of responsibility, and of course moral implications that come with it, right? Whenever we hear of a story that someone has taken their life, it comes with a big discussion on what should have been, what shouldn't have been, kind of thing, right? So there are things. There's a more like so there's a moral scrupulosity element over here in this sphere as well, right? So we'll just come back to this because it connects to like the other fears as well. Then, aside from fear of death, there is a fear of losing happiness, right? And the sense that you are snatching your happiness from yourself, right? There's also this like thing that I will have my potential will be unfulfilled, so I'll be giving myself this very abrupt kind of ending, and it'll basically end all potential happiness that I was to feel in the future, and everything good going on for me is essentially just going to go down the drain, kind of thing, right? So there's a huge fear of losing, or in some ways I would say halting, kind of like your happiness as well. But then the third one, which is a big one, is the fear of rejection and judgment. And this is one that I think gets missed out the most in a fear of harming yourself. And why is that? Because you think that through that act, you don't want to be seen as a mentally weak person. That's a big one for people, because it's like, oh, this person, like OCD sufferers feel like the person who does this, like if we do this, then people will be thinking that, oh, this person could have done things differently, or this person was mentally weak, they didn't have willpower, they weren't strong enough mentally, and therefore they did that. And we don't want to be seen as that. The other one is, again, a very big one, is fear of hurting loved ones or upsetting them or leaving them with sad memories and trauma. This is a big, big, big one. So this ties in with the responsibility element over here, that you are the one responsible for causing your family long term depression or long term sad feelings, long term trauma, that kind of stuff, right? So then you feel that's when like the guilt also kicks in. Actually, I should write this at the top as well. We have guilt plus shame over here, even though we haven't even done it, but we preemptively feel it, right? That we feel guilt and shame for the fact that we might do this by harming ourselves or taking our own life, right? So a responsibility element ties in very strongly to this one. And this is especially for parents as well, right? Parents who feel like they need to be there for the kids, or they need to raise them right, or give them good life, that kind of stuff, right? And then there's fear of acting selfishly. That's also tied in with being seen as someone who did a selfish act, because unfortunately, this is the kind of thing that sometimes people think that, oh, this person, people who don't understand this kind of mindset, they often judge it as, oh, it's a selfish thing. So that's a fear that ties in that I don't want to be seen as that. And also, acting irresponsibly, again, ties in with the responsibility element that I didn't act responsibly enough and I took my own life. I should have been responsible and mindful enough to not do that. This also ties in with the same thing as well, that no, like we feel like nobody, if we do this, if we harm ourselves, then if we take our own life, then I'm not like, nobody else is responsible for me ending my happiness. I'm the one myself that has ended my happiness, right? Now, you've been seeing this probably in the video and you've been wondering why I've written this, and of course, these are the three big main compulsions. This obviously ties into with fear of depression as well. A lot of people automatically then associate fear that being depressed is going to lead them to take their own life. And in order to kind of like keep their emotional state on like a default, or to keep it refreshed and to keep it what's the word, I'm purged, I would say, to keep their emotional state of being purged and just clean, there's a lot of confessing and venting that happens. If And it's not just even about your specific fear, right, or something like that. It even ties into you venting about someone like overtaking you on the road or cutting you on the road, someone being bad at work, or having a bad work day, you being inconvenienced by, I don't know, rain while you were out running errands or something like that. So there are tiny little things that we feel like we have to vent and get off our chest, and that also ties into confessing, you wanting to talk about your feelings all the time, wanting to let people know that you're feeling this way, because the fear then builds up that if I don't talk about these things, and if I keep these things to myself, they're going to build and fester and they're going to eat me up on the inside. And of course, reassurance that, is this depression? Is this not? Am I feeling like this? Do you think I'm this kind of person? All that kind of stuff. Also, since this is one of the big fears behind fear of harming yourself, um, you will probably see this playing out in general in your life as well. So even as a parent, it's not only just about you fearing that you're going to take your own life. It's also you as a parent feeling like, I can't do something that's going to make my child upset. I don't want them to think I'm a bad parent. I don't want to say something that's going to make them cry, any of those things. So and that can be even as small as, we're out on on like for like a shopping spree or something, and my kid wants a chocolate. I need to make sure I give him a chocolate, otherwise he's going to think I'm a bad mother, he's going to not like me, and he's going to hate me, right? So this is a big one over here that ties into then small habits in your daily life as well, mundane things in your life. So watch out for this one, because you're more than likely acting out compulsively with this fear, way more than you think, right? So there's that. And also, with this fear, you will often come across people who have this theme of taking their own life, right? But they will also have glimmers of harm OCD in general, or POCD, or any other theme that ties in with fear of rejection, right? They usually have had it in the past, or they currently suffer with it alongside fear of taking their own life. So these are very important things to keep in mind, because they make like a bigger web of things than you think. So one of the first things that you, and aside from breaking these things down in general, why would it be bad if people think of you in a bad way, right? If we also look at it on a general level, we can start to see that we can handle people's rejection, right? Fear of losing happiness. There's so many different ways that our goals and our life get interrupted by something or the other. Breaking that down, that why do we need those specific things to be able to say that we have a good life, right? And of course, right now, this I'm just doing a general breakdown. I'm not going very in depth with how to break those down, but these are some indicators of where you can go with things. These three also are obviously like a drug to you. So we need to cut these out ASAP, right? Never helpful. They keep us stuck, they keep us hooked, and they intensify fear and anxiety over time as well, right? Of course, if you're someone who's watching this for the first time and has not started off on the recovery journey, the um, Albert Ellis book is a good place to start, right? The names of the books and the reading lists are on our website. So, How to Stubbornly Refuse to Make Yourself Miserable is the first book on the reading list. Good place to start with. And of course, there are different exposures that tie into this kind of theme as well, and those can be like specific to different people, what they're specifically avoiding. But like aside from this, other common compulsions with this are avoidance and not wanting to stay by yourself, things like that. But of course, they vary from person to person, and that would be another longer list. But I just thought I would do like a small little breakdown of how this theme and this fear works. I hope this helps. I hope you find it somewhat relatable, and that's me. So I will see you guys soon for another video. Whoa, wait, let me. These are my trusted pens and markers and whatnot that I often use. Sometimes I randomly start painting while I'm out, while I'm sitting on this table and doing stuff. So I'm currently painting this little clay block that I made. I've never painted on such a thing before, so I just thought I would try it for the first time. Some magnets that I made myself. So yeah, hope you guys like this stuff. Thought I would show you a little brief thingy of my entire table, but anyway. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you around. Bye!